Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to FX Market Overview. Today is 28th January. January is gone. Yep, January is almost over. Welcome to today's FX Market Overview. As you can see to the upper right of my screen, we're going to be looking at, let's come to the red list, the same. Okay, we're going to be looking at the same assets we looked at last week, just to see how far prices moved. And yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the dollar index, Euro USD, Australian dollar, that's Aussie, the British pound, that is cable, and then NZD card, Euro NZD, AUD card. Right, so these are the assets we're going to be looking at today. Okay, it's the same thing from last week. I just want to talk about some things, how far prices moved, from the analysis we made last week and how where prices this week and what are the possible things we could be looking out for. All right, and then we also have the green lists. The green list is so the assets we talked about them last week, and then they've actually gotten to target, so they are not in my radar for this new week anymore. Right, so they consist of Bitcoin, Euro, GBP, and NZD USD. All right, that's NZD USD. So we're going to start with this one just to make a review of them. And then when we're done, we can now go into what we have for today. So at the top of my list is Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin. Oh boy. So let us go to the daily time frame on Bitcoin. So I remember last week I said that we could possibly see Bitcoin go below 40,000, right? Why did I why was I anticipating a move below 40,000? Very simple. Structure was bearish on the daily time frame. We already saw the breaker structure to the downside. Price gave us a retest into the daily imbalance up here, and then boom, price dumped. And then we had a breaker structure. We had a trend. It was bearish on the daily time frame. Structure is bearish. We have the range, top range, the down range. Price did not get to a premium entry because if we'll measure from the swing high all the way down to the swing low, yeah, before the retracement, it didn't even get to 50%. Institutions didn't even give us that premium entry for sell. And then prices dumped all the way to the downside. And remember last week, I said that on the daily time frame, we were already having a bearish daily structure. So it gave us this low, gave us this lower high, and then gave us this new lower low. Now, the only thing I said that I was wrong on Bitcoin last week was that I was saying that I wanted price to go up into further into the imbalance and then go down from there. See it now, I wanted a little bit of push to the upside, something like this. So instead of price just, instead of price doing this is Monday. Yeah, instead of price doing something like this, price just coming down, instead of price just coming down, I wanted to see a little bit of push further into the imbalance, a more premium entry for me, and then take a sell from there. But then I also said that it could most likely respect the daily structure, which is this lower high and this lower low, respect the range, and just go down from there. And that was what Bitcoin did, right? It didn't go further into the imbalance. It just respected the daily structure and then dropped all the way to the downside. Now, we wanted to see Bitcoin come below 40,000. What was the reason? The major reason was because of the presence of the liquidity that was in this area, right? We could see the equal lows. Definitely, that's money sitting below those lows. Institutions, price, the market is attracted to areas of liquidity. So when I see these things, I know doesn't matter how long it's going to take, they should get there eventually, right? But then for Bitcoin, it was like a straight deal. Monday, we mean business on Monday, and then it just took price. Oh, actually, yeah, it was on Monday. I mean, Monday candle just went straight for the liquidity, and then Tuesday further down into the imbalance, and then boom, we had can see price just went all the way to the upside. Now, if we, I mean, it's obvious, but let me see from the swing high down to the swing low. Yeah, I mean, measuring from the swing high down to the swing low, it's very obvious that we had more orders coming to the market in this area. That's why we had a very, very big drop to the downside for Bitcoin. And then if I'm to check from here, just want to see here to yeah, and then to yeah, very, very obvious. Very obvious. So we measure from this all the way up here. We can see that in this area, exactly at the 40,000, 40K area, we had a very big pump to the upside. So this is institutions, someone sold, took price all the way down from 41K, just like we anticipated, to below 40K, right? And then so how prices were balanced up. So how could we have participated in this on 1 hour time frame? Actually, 30 minutes. That was where we saw the play from, right? So was it 1 hour now? No, I think it was the 30 minutes. Yeah, so on the 30 minute, this would have been the play. I mean, aside from the bigger liquidity we have down here, that's the daily lows. We also had some minor equal lows, like some fixed support. You see, in this area, we had some equal lows here. In this area, we also had some equal lows. Now, looking at the structure in this area, we had this high, we had this low, had this high, and then we had a drop. So price pushed to the downside, broke structure, everything, all the checklists we do on higher time frame, we also do on the time frame of entry. So if I'm going to be looking at the time frames, if I'm going to be doing the analysis on a higher time frame to establish where the what the directional bias is going to be, where the point of interest is going to be, I'm going to be using the same checklist. Now, when I'm coming to looking for entries on the lower time frame, it's still going to be the same checklist. What's the trend? What's the present trend? What's the present range? Fee level? Am I buying a premium? Am I buying a discount, selling at premium? The liquidity, and then the institutional candle, right? And then in this case, I think it should be not the 1 hour. Was it a 1 hour? Oh, sorry. MC, yeah, was it? I think 50 minutes because oh yes, the 50 minutes time frame because I can see that's where oh, no, not 50 minutes. Was it 40? I can actually remember where I drew the imbalance from. 45. The one. It's not the 2 hours. No, not 1 hour. Was it 15 minutes? Just trying to check where the imbalance. I drew the imbalance from. Okay, so I can't even remember, but unless I check the chart, well, I don't want to do that since this is just a review. So price came into the imbalance after the break of structure on the 30 minutes time frame, and you can see how price came back to the imbalance. That was the entry at 41,750. That's a 50 level, and stop loss was 200 points. And you can see that was the move that led to below 40K. So amazing trade, but I wasn't in. I was so positive and believing that we're going to go up into this area. That was where I wanted to take a sell from. But then, boom, this dropped. So now Bitcoin is below, I mean, came below 40K, and now we're back up. I mean, it's moving aggressively to the upside. So what's going to be the play? Check the weekly time frame. Okay. I mean, we're talking about price rebalancing, all of this imbalances we have here. We only have a little. Go to the monthly time frame. Can you see this? So, I mean, liquidity is the game for me, right? So the liquidity I was looking at has been captured. I do not see any other liquidity at the moment. So I'm just going to wait, allow time to pass, allow more candles to print, and then I'm going to come up with a new directional bias for Bitcoin. So for now, out of my radar. Okay, that's it. And then for Euro GBP, we're talking about price taking out the liquidity to the downside. We wanted to see price go up first, come into the premium entry for a sell. That didn't happen, guys. So price just dumped. Okay, so it took out the liquidity. I think on the 4 hours, yeah, on the 4 hour. I mean, it actually did happen, but just a little, right? I mean, when was this? This is Friday, and I mean, it came into the imbalance. Can you see? Actually, it came into the imbalance, and then just dumped from there. So I wanted to see it go up a little bit more into the imbalance before coming down, but that didn't happen, guys. It just took out the liquidity, and that's it. Trade idea complete for me, out of my radar. And then for NZD/USD, same thing last week. It didn't come into the point of interest, but just straight up went for the liquidity. So that's it. Took out the liquidity and then went all the way to the upside. So that's it. NZD/USD also got to target without us being in on a trade. So those are the trade ideas we looked at last week and how they played out. Okay, so back to the red list. We have a dollar index. Okay, now let's go straight to the monthly time frame. All right, let's take this off. So on a monthly time frame, the dollar index is bullish on a monthly time frame. And as you can see, prices are going. We have 3 more days for this month, this monthly candle to completely print. Right, so still printing. We have 3 more days and 14 hours. So on the first weekly outlook call for this month, for this year, I said that I wanted to see the dollar index most likely rally all the way to the upside if we can get into this imbalance. That's it. Structure, present structure now calls for bearishness, and most likely price could come here, give us the lower high. Maybe that's going to happen. Maybe it's going to give the lower high. That is what it should do. So I don't want it to go beyond that. Okay, just by structure, it should come here and go down. But what I'm saying is that I want to see the dollar index come all the way to this imbalance. And then now on a weekly time frame, we can see that dollar index has been buying. No, this is the first week, second week, the third week, and the fourth week. So straight this month, dollar index has been buying for straight 4 weeks now. I mean, this was kind of a doji candle, but next candle bullish, and this is bullish. So what is this week candle going to be? This coming week, is it going to be a bullish candle or is it going to be a bearish candle? So what's going to be the play, right? And then I also said that we had some equal highs in this area, more like an internal liquidity, right? That I wanted the dollar index to take out. And then going down to the daily time frame, we had the structure bearish, like low, high, low. Then I was talking about the dollar index rejecting from here last 2 weeks. But then last week we had a change in buyers because of AUD USD, GBP USD, and NZD USD all having liquidity to the downside. So I said that because of the liquidity to the downside that each of these assets have, EU doesn't have that, but later created some on a lower time frame, which I saw going into the week. But then AUD USD, GBP USD, and NZD USD on a daily time frame all have that liquidity to the downside. So because of that, I said the dollar index might most likely buy this week. So last 2 weeks we had the sell buyers, and then last week we had the buy buyers. Price has actually responded to both last 2 weeks and last week analysis, but hasn't really moved away from that area. Right? Last 2 weeks we were calling for sells, it happened a little. And this week we called for buys, happened also a little, right? So if we are still going to be looking at the dollar index go up, then most likely this week should get some more bullishness. And we also have this internal liquidity here and this monthly, weekly, and yearly imbalance. I think so. No, monthly, weekly, daily imbalance. Yes, in this area, right? So said dollar index might most likely come down last week and then go up because of AUD USD and GBP USD have liquidity to the downside. So this is them here. AUD USD liquidity to the downside here, and GBP USD liquidity also to the downside. Yeah. So because of this liquidity and this liquidity, and NZD USD also had a liquidity, but captured it already last week. So because of this liquidity, I was saying that the dollar index most likely will go up, and then we're going to see EU dump, right? So going back to EU. So since that was my bias for the week, all I had to do now is to wait, go into the week. As the week unfolds, I look for trading opportunities in lower time frame in direction of the buyers I had already established on Sunday. That's it, right? So yeah, that's it. So going to the on Euro USD, I was looking for sell opportunities. I actually had a sell, but took me hard at break even. I'm going to show you that very soon. All right. So this is EU. right? So because I already established that the dollar index was most likely going to buy because of this liquidity, I couldn't see the liquidity on EU on the daily time frame. But scaling down to the 1 hour, I started to see it. It was like, okay, I mean, we had this equal loop. So maybe institutions are going to aim for this equal loops, right? And then in this area, on the 30 minutes time frame, yeah, was it 30 minutes? Yeah, 30 minutes. Let me go back to 1 hour quickly. Yes, so on the 30 minutes time frame, I saw this break of structure to the downside, right? And then at that period, NZD, GBP, USD, and AD USD were also giving some kind of momentum to the downside, right? So, but EU was like the best at that period. So I saw the shift high, high low, higher high, and then broke. Then my entry was at this imbalance here on one, no, not imbalance, institutional cube, right? I was playing institutional cube for my entry, this institutional cube, and I saw this equal lows, I saw this equal lows here. Yeah, perfect, right? So I saw this equal lows, and I also saw this one. So this and this, and then I already had the bias that the dollar index was going to drop. I was going to go up, so I was looking for sales on EU. So I got in here, and then price came down, swept this liquidity, came back up again, and then started to drop. And I mean, this is it. This is it. Yeah. So this was a sell stop. I was even late already, so I had to just use a sell stop to get in, stop above this high. I was in. I was activated. I was going to bed. I didn't want surprises in the morning, so I had to put my stop loss to break even. As you can see, my final TP was at this loop because I knew dollar in this. I mean, if dollar is going to go up, EU is going to get there. EU is going to get to the liquidity. So I put the stop loss at a little bit below profit. Just I don't want surprises when I wake up in the morning. So and then as you can see, yeah, it rejected, went back up. And I woke up, so I wasn't in on the trade again. Price is taking me out at break even. So yeah, I mean, kind of hot, right? And then finally, boom, had a big drop to the downside. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, that's how I missed EU. Thank God I actually put a stop loss at break even. You know, the timing wasn't just it. Then I was fine, so I missed out on EU, big sell, and then we had a very strong move to the upside again, and then came down hard again, and then went back up again. So EU just like in between. All right, it's just going up and down, up and down. But that was the only opportunity I saw and I took, then took me out of break even. Okay. So for EU, dollar index, daily time frame, I still think it's going to go up, right? AUD USD still has this liquidity to the downside. As a matter of fact, I'm actually in on AU, sell, but then it's been playing up and down, up and down. So before um, the market closed, I just put stop loss to break even. I mean, it's just going back and forth, back and forth. As you can see, right? Thank God I even had a stop loss at 27. It's not up to 30, so I had to put it up. But now the reason why I went break even on this trade, even before 1 to 3, is the same, no, not really the same reason as EU. EU, it was because it was late. I was going to bed. Just wanted to put stop loss to break even. I don't want it to just go up and take me out before I wake up. I mean, I would have loved if it just dumped and hit TP. So for AU, I can see already that we have equal highs in this area. Okay, so I'm not really okay with this. All right, I'm not really okay with this. That's why I just went break even. All right. I mean, there's been a lot of back and forth, and I don't like it. I like getting in so they just move, but we don't always get that, right? We, sometimes we, sometimes, what's the word? Sometimes we don't always have it the way we want, right? It doesn't just drop once like we want it. And that's an example of this case, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? So funny. And then so I'm still in, but stop loss at break even. It's gonna drop. I would appreciate it. Right, there's equal lows here, there's lows here, and there's lows here. That's, I mean, I would appreciate a big drop to the downside. And now going to Forex Factory, we do have some major news on AUD this week. I saw it last week. So on Monday, no news. Tuesday, we have CB consumer confidence. That's for the dollar index major news. On Wednesday, CPI. I mean, CPI really moves price. So, I mean, GBP CPI, Euro, maybe GBP CPI, AUD CPI, USD CPI, consumer price index. Whoops, price really moves. So something is going to happen. I just pray and hope that I am out before the drama comes on Wednesday. So, and I'm going to break even now and see what's going to happen. Right. So for AUD still calling for lower pricing. Dollar index calling for higher pricing. EU lower pricing. I'm not seeing where to get in yet, but EU lower pricing. AUD lower pricing. I mean already. So that's what I'm going to be saying. Lower pricing. And then GBP USD also. GBP USD, I was in on a sell. I was in on a sell, but then I did something not cool. I wouldn't say not cool, but it's fine. I had my sell entry at this imbalance. I saw the structure. And I was calling for lower pricing, so I was looking for sells on all of this assets. So I had my sell here on GBP has I think stop loss was somewhere around here, and 1 to 3. 1 to 3 already got hit. 1 to 3 got hit already. Let me show you the markup. Coming GBP USD. Okay, I think we have it. No, this is not it. Oh, I didn't mark it. I should. Yeah, this is it. GBP USD. There we go. Here we go. Okay, GBP USD, as you can see, I had my entry. This is January 25, 2:14 p.m. So my entry was at the 80 level. Just you know, in and out 1 to 3. Right, but then this stop loss was just at this high, 1 to 3. But then what I did was when it got to 1 to 3, I took some profit to stop loss at break even. And then what I did was to just extend my TP all the way down here. And then that didn't work out fine. So I think I should have just left with the whole 1 to 3, but I didn't know that. So I ended up taking it's like a 1 to 1.5. I mean, on TradingView, we hit 1 to 3, yeah, but actually it was a 1 to 1.5 trade because I had to cut the profit into two. So that's a 1 to 1.5, no 1 to 3. That's insane. So that a trade for this week that I took this week, rather. Okay, so GBUSD, the liquidity is still there. It's not taking it out. Going to the daily time frame. I mean, we are a little bit above uh the hint balance. I mean, it went all the way up, and as you can see, there's been a lot of struggle in this imbalance area. As you can see, I mean, it's been a lot of struggle. Yeah, came down, went up, came down, went up, came down, and it's back again inside the imbalance. So why is this imbalance so strong that every time price goes up, it comes back there. Price goes up, it comes back there. Right. So this is really, really, really a strong level of demand and supply. I mean, many people are going to be looking at this area. So I'm still going to be bearish going into the week. Still want a dollar index to go up, AU, GU to the downside. I mean, until proven otherwise, then uh, I would start to look for something else. But for now, I think still good. Just want to see dollar index go up and EU, AU, GU to the downside. And then for NZD card also on the weekly time frame, on a monthly rather, this imbalance we've been looking at 3 weeks rather. Let's see, I mean, price came there, went all the way to the upside, and now it's back down again. So I'm just gonna wait to see what's gonna happen this week. If we get like a bearish week again, then I would just take this off my radar, and that's it. So I'm actually looking at this imbalance to see what's going to happen, because now we have equal lows here. So definitely, I know hence the card is still going to sell, right? So I'm just going to be looking at what's going to happen inside this imbalance. So when the institutions take out the liquidity, what's most likely going to happen here? I'm going to be looking at that, but definitely NZ card is going to drop. All right. Okay. And then Euro NZD on monthly time frame, no, weekly time frame, rather. We have this present structure that is bearish, major structure bullish, structure within structures bearish, and we have this liquidity. So I want to see price most likely drop, but then price is still very bullish. The bigger time frame is bullish, so it should go up. So I'm only having a changed bias because of the liquidity, which is external, by the way. But then I'm just going to be monitoring what is going on inside the imbalance. And then on the going down to the daily time frame, you can see. And then on the 4 hours, because I was looking at this last week also, right? And then I saw, okay, now we have high, low, high, and then it broke, right? So it broke the structure, give us this lower high, and then give us this lower low, and now it's going back up. Now we have an internal liquidity here, because in terms of the range, we have this as the top range and the down range, overall down range now, or this one, yeah. So maybe if we consider this as internal liquidity, what is most likely going to happen? So I actually scaled down time frames, 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, 50, 30, 15. I couldn't find any imbalance. I mean, that's strange. I couldn't find any imbalance in this area. There's none. So I'm just, and I like to trade imbalance. That's what I use mostly for my entries. So I'm just chilling to see what's going to happen. Right. Left, unless I do have one bias left. I'm looking at this mitigation cube, but just, okay, let me see what price is going to do when it gets there. But I love this momentum to the downside. So if we can further get more momentum push to the downside, then euro hens maybe it's most likely going to start going down the more, right? And then for AED card, so I just saw this a couple of hours ago. Now on the daily time frame, super bearish, right? You know what? Let me not talk about this yet. I still want to see something before I'm going to talk about it. So let's keep AED card for next week. All right, let me remove it. So I'm going to keep AED card for next week. All right, so these are the asset I'm looking at. Same thing from last week, just a little bit of uh, explanation and, you know, all right, so these are the asset, dollar index, euro, AD NZD, GBP USD, NZD card, euro NZD. All right, so let's see what's going to happen this week. Let's see how far price is going to move. Let's see if our analysis is going to play out right. I mean, if it plays out right, good for me. If it doesn't, I'll learn from the mistakes. All right. Okay, guys. So it's going to be hard for me. It's not so long. You have an amazing trading week. Bye bye.